Frequent flyers have come to accept bad health caused by jet lag. The No Jet Stress program helps you maintain optimal health by learning how to avoid jet lag so you can always arrive ready at your destination. Are you a frequent flyer? Is the road burning out all of your vitality? Are you struggling with productivity and energy in order to get the job done? Are the consequences of this showing up in other areas of your life where you would rather they didn't? Or maybe you're just one of these people who thinks you should be able to travel the world without having to sacrifice your health. I know that I do. Just as leisure flyers and frequent flyers are different, leisure flyers get jet lag, frequent flyers don't. They get jet stressed, and there is an important difference to understand here. If there's one thing you take from this video, let it be that one distinction. Leisure flyers get jet lag, frequent flyers get jet stress. As a leisure flyer, you have the luxury of being able to recover once you land. If you do nothing else, eventually your circadian rhythms will clock in and you'll find yourself back to where you were on your merry way. If you're a frequent flyer, you don't have that luxury. You're taking off, landing, taking off without that window of opportunity to recover. You must have something else, otherwise you're going to burn out. This difference should actually give pause for thought to make sure that you have a sustainable, healthy, oriented solution. And that's what we're about in managing this, so you arrive with presence and the ability to function. I know what that feels like. I know what that looks like. I spent 20 years working for British Airways, one of the UK's largest airlines, as a flight attendant, travelling over 45 countries and more than 1.2 million miles. I felt the bone-crushing fatigue. I also found out that the regular solutions that were out there just didn't cut it. They weren't healthy enough. People turned to wine, to melatonin, to recreational drugs. These might all be well and good if you're an infrequent flyer, but if you need to sustain your resilience and energy on an ongoing basis, you need a healthy solution. That healthy solution is what I discuss in my book, Farewell Jet Lag: Cures from a Flight Attendant. It starts out giving you fundamentals and sets out a whole system for how to manage the journey on an ongoing basis. Environment. The aircraft cabin is an alien environment and it should be treated as such. Understanding this fact means you behave differently and you're accepting of the fact that it's going to impact your recovery. If you think about it, the aircraft cabin is typically pressurized to about 8,000 feet. This is the same kind of altitude you'd expect to meet if you were to climb Mount Everest and you went to base camp. Think about that for a minute. You go to base camp, you stay there and you acclimatise before you attempt the summit. But you don't do that when you get on an aircraft. Anyone who's able to recognise that this alien environment needs to be respected has the ability to walk on that aircraft with tools that allow them to master that environment better than those who didn't. Entrainment. This is the second principle you need to master. Human beings are naturally entrained to the earth at sea level. It's the environment that we grew up in, and it gives us cues as we go about our day-to-day business. In the science of chronobiology, these cues are known as zeitgeist, and you're going to have to forgive my German, but that literally means time givers. When you take off on an aircraft, you're disengaging from that natural environment that we have. If you think about it, you get on the plane and there's a disconnect between the fact that you're traveling so fast, and at the same time you look out the window and everything seems to be going by so slow. That disconnect is part of what we're not being entrained to, so we feel disoriented when we arrive back on the ground. Recognizing that and being able to actually make sure that we entrain faster gives us another tool in our toolbox that helps us make sure that we are always in control, in charge, whenever we take off and land, no matter how often we travel. Our circadian clock is governed by zeitgeist, one of the strongest of which is natural light. But there are other cues, and the ability to make sure that we understand what they are, how to use them, plays into us reinserting ourselves into an environment appropriately once we've landed back on terra firma. When you take off, you disengage from the natural entraining cycles that govern us on the ground. The ability to land back on the ground and know where in the cycle you are and how to make your body take to them a lot quicker is one of those tools, again, backs up your recovery, your resilience, and allows you to do that in a succinct way that puts you in a position of power. Acclimatization. Now this sounds quite simple. It's similar to entrainment, but not necessarily the same, because you are acclimated or acclimatized, depending on which side of the Atlantic you're from, to the external environment that you find yourself in. The cues that I mentioned in entrainment are pretty much internal mechanisms, but they need a partner on the outside. This is where you being acclimatized to the time that you find yourself in becomes imperative and useful. For one thing, if you're out there doing business and you need to be on local time, but your body clock's saying something else, you have a mismatch and obviously the meeting's not going to happen. So the saying goes, when in Rome, do as Romans do. This becomes a way of living when you're on the road so often, so you are able to take advantage of that and get acclimatized quickly. The more you can do that, the easier it becomes for you to train that part of your body, your ability to take that up for you as a regular flyer. So there you have it, the three principles: environment, entrainment, and acclimatization. If you master these three, you have a track to run on, and it means that the latest and greatest new jet lag cure doesn't overtake you because it's not based on the specifics of how to manage the challenges of jet lag long term. Once you have these fundamentals, you can actually put them in place by looking at my book, Farewell Jet Lag Cures from a Flight Attendant, which will give you the 6-step program, a simple to follow program that allows you to pick out the specifics of the type of cure that you need for you, all based on sustainable, healthy type of solutions that you can make sure you personalize and use no matter how often you travel, which means that when you arrive well, ready, with presence to enjoy that business trip or that leisure time that you're having away. So from me to you, make sure wherever you go, you always fare well.